Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Ian and you are watching I Run Daily. In this video I'm going to be talking about my marathon pacing strategy. The first thing that I'm not going to do, and it's something which is so common and so many runners do it no matter what the distance, whether it's a 5k park run or an ultra marathon, and that is trying to put time in the bank. So that means going out quicker than you know you're able to sustain, and then hoping you can either hold on or hoping that you've got enough time banked in that first part of the race that it doesn't matter if you slow down because you'll still be able to hit your goal time. And I know that's really difficult because as soon as that start gun goes or start hooter goes or whatever it is, you are full of energy, you have tapered well, you are well fed, you are well rested, and you've got the adrenaline pumping and you just want to go and do your best. But, and especially in a marathon, going out fast in that first sort of 2 to 3 to 4 miles is not going to help you when you get to that last 10 kilometers. And it's that last 10 kilometers where the race really begins. Up on the screen now are my splits from the Milton Keynes Marathon that I did in May last year, I think it was. Now look how much I drop off towards the end of that marathon. And that's because I went out too hard. I tried to bank time in the first half of the marathon and it all just fell apart. And in the last sort of 4 or 5 kilometers, I lost all of that time I'd banked and then an extra 5 minutes on top of that as well. It just didn't work. It's going to take a lot of willpower to start off slower than my goal marathon pace, but I know that it will keep my heart rate down. It will allow me to absorb some of the energy that I've been taking just before the race and in the early part of the race. And more importantly, it's going to give me something to chase down as the race goes on, and hopefully psychologically that will really help me. So the first thing is something I'm not going to do, and that is go out too fast. Okay, tip number 2, continuing at the start of the race really, and that is I'm not going to get too panicked or frustrated if it's crowded at the beginning and waste energy weaving in and out of runners or taking the long way around the course in order to try and get ahead of anyone that might be running a bit slower than me at the start.
All that will happen is I'm going to surge, it's going to bring my heart rate up and waste energy.
So I'm going to try and keep it calm and not weave in and out at the start of the race. Okay, next up is to think about the nutrition on the day. Now I've studied the race booklet, so I know that there are going to be aid stations, I know there's going to be water. I don't plan on taking anything from any of the aid stations because I'll be carrying my own nutrition. And what I will be using on the day are 2 types of gels. I'll be using a caffeine gel and I'll be using just a normal isotonic gel. I am going to carry with me 150 ml of plain water, just in one of these little hip flask bottles that you can get in Decathlon. I know there's going to be water on the course, but just in case I need it, I just want to have that little backup with me. During a race like this, I would probably only take water anyway. I wouldn't be messing around with any kind of electrolyte drinks. The reason being, the gels have enough electrolytes in them, in my opinion, and I think having that plus electrolyte drinks as well just makes my tummy go all kind of funny and squiffy, and I don't want that. So just sticking to plain water keeps things nice and settled. The nutrition strategy itself is taking a gel every 25 to 30 minutes, and I'm going to alternate between a normal isotonic gel and a caffeine gel. So 6 I may not need, but I definitely will need 5. The 6th gel is just there in an emergency if I feel like I need it just at the end. That's nutrition. How do you pace your marathon? So I'm going to focus on the 3:15 target that I have got, but you can make this applicable to any target that you have, because I'm going to talk in sort of general terms, but I'll use the times for a 3:15 marathon. So the first chunk is the first 5 kilometers. Now the aim here, like we've said, is to not go out too fast and to not surge and panic and let the adrenaline take over. So the first 5 kilometers, I'm actually going to go out at a pace which is about 6 to 10 seconds slower than goal marathon pace. So you can use that and adjust that to meet your needs as well. So for a 3:15 marathon, knowing that I need to hold a 4:37 pace to go under 3:15, what I'm actually going to do for those first 5 kilometers is sort of hold it at roughly 4:41 to 4:44. Try and stick in that ballpark. The next chunk are kilometers 6 through to 20, so a 14 sort of kilometer block now. And this is when I'm going to go into goal marathon pace. I'm going to hit this nice and steady, trying to hold somewhere between 4:37 to 4:40. Okay, so I'm just about hitting that goal marathon pace. Then we move into the next big chunk, and that's 20 to 35 kilometers. So this is the bread and butter of the marathon run. This is when the mental toughness has to really kick in. And at this point is when I'm going to try and just bring that pace up slightly to at marathon pace or slightly above. So I'm now going to be running at my marathon pace, which is 4:37, and up to about 5 or 6 seconds quicker, up to about 4:32 pace. Now that brings me to 35 kilometers in, and at this point, if I'm feeling good, if the nutrition has gone well, and mentally I feel like I'm ready and prepared, then this is when I try and open the taps and just let go for the last 7 kilometers and actually just go as fast as I feel my body can take it. If everything has gone well in the taper week, all of the training has been absorbed, nutrition has gone well on the day, who knows if you can then start to bring that pace up. You'll be taking over runners that are in front of you that are slowing down, and mentally that's going to drive you forward. You're going to be seeing the average pace on your watch go lower and lower and lower, and that is going to be driving you forward. So that's it, guys. Those are my marathon pacing tips and tricks. I'm a fairly novice marathon runner. I'm learning with you. So what I would love to hear in the comments below is, what do you think of the suggestions I put out here? Do you think they are sensible? Do you think they are not sensible? Have you got any advice or tips that you would like to share in the comments below? It'd be really good to get a discussion going about this. And make sure you come back and check out the race vlog video, which will be out shortly after this one has gone out as well. If you're new here, it'd be great if you could hit that like and that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you hopefully in the next one as a sub 3:15 marathon runner.